Hello and welcome back to the Murakami Companion podcast, a show inspired by the works of Haruki Murakami, where we analyze his body of work in its entirety. Today we'll be talking about Murakami T, the t-shirts I love, which, as the title suggests, is a book where Haruki Murakami talks about his t-shirt collection. I haven't seen other editions, but mine is a hardcover which has really good paper and very high quality pictures of the t-shirts themselves. This book is not very long and it's so weird that it's kinda hard to review. The book starts as small articles he published in the New York Times about his t-shirts, and it just developed into a full book. I'll start by saying it's fun. When we talk about t-shirts with drawings about Hawaii or beer brands or music groups, he usually goes on tangents about those topics, and it's all like micro stories related to those t-shirts and those topics. And it's interesting both for longtime fans of Murakami as well as hardcore fans, because you have the novels and the short stories already. Let's call that the main body of work. Then you have books like Life as a Novelist, where it's sort of like an autobiography. But this is the closer thing we have to like a casual everyday conversation. It's like you're there helping him put his wardrobe in order, and he's just telling you stories he remembers when he sees this or that t-shirt. That's kinda it. It is as light-hearted as it gets. I'll say I don't think it's experimental, but it is weird for an established writer to put his time and name into a book that is so outside of what he's known for. It's like if Dan Brown published a cookbook, or if Stephen King went to publish a book about random anecdotes he had with his dogs over the years. It will definitely be sweet, it will be a nice little treat just to keep things interesting. In fact, Stephen King published a mystery book without terror elements called Colorado Kid, and it's one of my favorite books of his. But even that novel, it's not that outside of his wheelhouse. Back to Murakami T, the only thing that makes me sad about this book is that I have seen a lot of backlash online from the most purist fans. Here's what I will say about this. It is really easy for a good artist to try to satisfy the expectations of their most purist fans. But something that is hard to do is to stick to what you really want to write about at a certain moment in your life. For example, Jorge Luis Borges is known for not having written any full novels, but many short stories. But did you know that he also wrote great poetry? And that Albert Camus, that is famous for his novels and his philosophy books, did you know he also wrote theater? Plato, the great Greek philosopher, was also an athlete, a wrestler. Wouldn't it have been great if he had written a book about that? A book about wrestling? So let writers write about whatever they want. And if you don't like it, don't buy it. But don't be a purist, don't be a completionist. Try to enjoy things a little bit more. You can get Murakami T pretty much anywhere where good books are sold. If you want to support this podcast, or you just like t-shirts like Murakami does, or maybe some coffee mugs or art prints, we got a few digital stores where you can find all of that and more, featuring the cover artwork from this episode, inspired by Murakami T. There will be one design for each episode release of this podcast.